welcome back to Zero Generation. Today we have my really, really good friend from USC. I will just jump right to it. I will let Rose kind of introduce herself more, and let's go.
Awesome. I really appreciate you having me here. We're really good friends, and I'm so honored to be here. Well, first of all, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Rose. I'm originally from the Philippines. I first came to America to go to college, and then I went to grad school after that, and now I work in media. So I originally planned on pursuing my bachelor's degree here, and then kind of just see where the future takes me. And it's like, okay, I really want to make the most of the opportunities here and really take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So eventually, when I finished my degree, I realized that I had a strong desire to stay here and build a career. And then later on, I said, you know what, I want to follow my filmmaking aspirations.
So what was your major when you were back in your undergrad, if it's not film?
Psychology.
Psychology?
I majored
so cool.
I majored in psychology and minored in business.
And you have a minor?
Yeah.
That's good. I major in political science, minor in drama and theater.
I didn't even know that.
Not film related.
Not we're both
like
not film
stage
related.
play
Yes.
and stuff. Yeah. So when you first arrived, you were only like what? 19?
18.
18?
I was really young.
You also shared with me that after BU, you moved to New York for a while, right?
For about a year and a half. And that's when I found my passion in filmmaking, actually.
In New York?
In New York, yeah.
Can you also share with us what scared you the most in America?
I would say it was the fear of discrimination based on my ethnicity and nationality. And I was always afraid that people would make fun of the way I speak.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I think I have a mixed kind of accent because at home I speak Mandarin and Filipino. So I speak 3 languages at home. So it's kind of a mix.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of came so far because 10 years ago, I don't think my English is that great. Like, I had to really learn how to speak more fluently. And, I even had to kind of practice with like teachers.
Like a tutor.
And then the other fear was I was always nervous that I would stand out too much. Like I was always trying to bring my unique experiences, like different background and culture. But on the other hand, if I stand out too much, now I'm seen as an outsider and it's hard for me to blend in.
I understand that you want to contribute because you have different perspective than other domestic students or like workers.
So it was always a little bit hard for me to walk that line. But eventually I made a lot of good friends. And yeah, people here are very friendly. So I think the fears have definitely dialed down because of that.
Usually, what do you do to make yourself feel less homesick, less lonely?
Yeah. When I was in college, I would send like really long emails to my best friend. And we've been best friends since the 2nd grade, like when we were 8 years old.
Email.
It felt like a pen pal experience because we would send each other, just talk about our like life, experiences, adventures, college life,
kind
struggles.
Like exchange diary?
Kind of like that.
Okay.
And then I would explain what my life is like here and what her life is like there.
Is she in Philippines?
Yeah, she's in the Philippines. So literally the opposite, other side of the world. We still kept in touch that way. And then I would only see her once a year. But I feel like I'm still so close to her. Like I see her as a sister and I feel like she knows everything about me and I know everything about her. So I think technology is literally like the tool to keep people together.
Yep, it is really cool to receive like a long email from your bestie every month. Like it's a sum up for a whole month.
Yeah, it felt more like a journal, like dear journal, this is what I'm going through right now in my life.
Yeah.
And then she would respond, dear journal.
Wow. And the next question is, what route did you take to stay in America?
Initially, and when I graduated from undergrad, because I didn't have a filmmaking experience, I had to build my portfolio from scratch.
Damn.
I can't compare myself with someone who's already in the industry for so long, right?
Yeah.
So it was very challenging and stressful for me to apply for the O1 visa. I feel like O1 is like one of the most complex visas to get in America because you essentially have to prove that you possess extraordinary abilities, right? Like you have to say you've won awards, you've been nominated in the field, you're recognized by experts, or
like
you
are super outstanding.
Yeah, and I remember having to build the body of work, and it was a total of 600 to 700 pages long to provide this evidence.
Damn.
So it was tough, and then have to remain as that role as you apply. You can't work outside of that role. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay, so you cannot suddenly like, I want to open a food truck.
Exactly. You can't do that. So it's always feeling like restricted and limited.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for many months until I received the response, and I had to stay unemployed because of that. So it was just mentally taxing. And financially, you know, I spent significant amount of money for that and made a lot of sacrifices. And it felt just emotionally exhausting in general. And I remember I used to tell my friends before that they really make it hard for us to stay here and weed out the people who can't. And I felt like I was kind of the last one standing because all my friends left, and that felt so heartbreaking to me. So even if I did feel accomplished, sometimes I felt alone.
And how do you like being an editor in America? You wasn't in film until like graduating from BU, and so
it's I have a love and hate relationship because I feel like being an editor, you have to have so much patience and attention to detail.
Yeah.
But I really like the people. I feel like I connect really well with editors because we were always the last person to finish the story. And we're putting all the pieces together. So it's a journey. It's a journey.
I heard that post people are the nicest people.
Yes, we are.
Very underappreciated.
I know.
Yeah. Are you working from home right now?
Yeah, remote work is the best.
You don't want LA traffic.
I know, right?
Totally understand. And then next, we want to talk about living in America for 12 years now. Is there a particular moment that you feel like, I think I belong here? Or like, America finally accepted me? You know, is there a moment like that?
I still feel like an alien sometimes, but on paper, maybe the first time was when I got my social security number.
True.
It's like I can work now.
Yeah, it's like, wait, am I kind of legal?
Yeah, exactly. Like I finally, like
I am legit.
Yeah, I'm
a
legit.
legit worker.
Yeah, I can work here, and people will, like appreciate my how valuable I am.
Yeah.
Like paperwork but socially speaking, it was when I finished my master's degree, or even during my master's degree, and integrating myself with the film community, because I feel like we have similar and shared passions and interests with each other, right? So it felt less foreign to me, and I felt more recognized and accepted because of that. And then, the other thing also is when I talk to my American friends, and then they would say something very specific in their childhood. For example, they have a specific candy that they liked as a kid, or a TV show that they really like. And then let's say I would say, I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that. They would give me a very surprising look like, oh, you don't know that? And I would feel embarrassed. I would be like, I'm sorry, I'm not born and raised here. So, and then they would be like, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting that you're not American. So I think it's like, ooh, wait. I might see it as a compliment that I finally blend in now. But also, I kind of want to say like, hey, you're making me forget my own identity. But that is one of the moments where I'm like, ooh, the fact that they don't remember that I'm not from here means that I'm actually,
like,
I don't
they
know,
don't
like,
know.
Yeah, they don't know. I can say that I'm from Boston. No, I don't have an accent, but
yeah,
I can say wherever
you
city
just say
I
you're
am.
from California.
Yeah, I can
It's
just
so
say
big.
that. No
Yeah,
one's gonna
right?
know.
Yeah. So what will you do to feel like, I'm still a Filipina?
I would still hang out with my Filipino friends and then speak the language. Because once, I think language is such a big part of staying true to your identity. Because once you speak English, or at least when I speak English, I suddenly feel a little bit more detached. I don't know if that's
Like
the
with
same.
yourself?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe I feel more at home when I speak my own language at home. So yes, it's staying connected with my friends here who also speak the same language, native language. And then watching like content creators on social media who's like Filipino and then like things that are comedic, humorous.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the humor here and back home is very like quite different. Yeah,
because the slang is totally different. Like in Taiwan, and when you translate that Mandarin into English,
it's not
funny
the same.
anymore.
It's the same. And there's so many words you can't translate that in English. I don't know if you have a lot of that. But for example, okay, we have this term called kilig in Filipino. It basically means like butterflies in your stomach or romantic feelings of excitement. So let's say you watch a movie and there's two characters who are being, cute to each other. You just say, oh, kilig. Like, that's a thing. But in here, you don't have that, right?
I think in Taiwan, we will say, like, 心动.
Oh, yeah.
Or I know in Korean, they have this kind of things, too.
I'm sure.
Or maybe it's an Asian thing.
Maybe it's an Asian thing.
Right? So here, if you see two people falling in love on screen.
Yeah, what do you say? You're just gonna say, oh, that's so romantic. Like, that's not, I don't know, it's different.
Yeah, I see.
Another word I really like is KSP. So KSP is, the Tagalog version is kulang sa pansin, which basically means attention seeking or someone who is seeking attention. But it's used in a very humorous way. So for example, someone cracks a joke and it's not funny and they're trying to force themselves to be funny. You just say, oh, he's just being KSP. But in here, if someone does that, you might say, oh, he's just trying to seek attention, but it's more of a negative connotation. Whereas back home, if you say, oh, he's just being KSP, and then you laugh about it, and then it's like more comedic.
I know. I think here people say attention whore.
Oh. That sounds wrong. Like, it sounds so bad.
So really, when you're like maybe 8-year-old niece seeking for attention. Attention whore.
And then you say that for someone who's already like a grown adult.
Right?
Like, that's weird.
That's so weird. But okay, so language.
Language is a huge thing.
Okay. I also want to ask if you can share the worst day you had in America. Something that happened here, you feel like, oh, I really want to leave America. I don't want to stay here anymore.
That's a hard question. I think for me, what made me remember the most is after I graduated from undergrad, where I had to plan out my entire life. Because I always feel like I have a clock ticking. It's that pressure of, oh, you gotta figure out what to do next. Because let's say when I was an undergrad, my visa was expiring. So I would say it was the first year more so than the worst day. Because
entire
year.
A day.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's a worse year. I felt like, oh my gosh, you have 1 year left to figure out how you can stay here. Because if not, you gotta leave. And then what are you gonna do after that? What visa are you gonna get? So I feel like I had to like speak with many lawyers and then do my own research about it, or cold emailed random people and talk to them and ask them, oh, do you have any advice on how to stay here? What visa did you get? So I feel like everyone else was celebrating and partying and having fun, whereas me, I'm like strategically like trying to plan out my life for the next, how many years to come. And then it's like trying to find a job, trying to build a career, even figuring out what to do in life as your career. So it was like everything And then the pressure of, okay, let's say you leave, what are you gonna do? So it's a lot of the feeling of uncertainty that made me feel very anxious. Yeah.
Got it. So the entire senior year
was more like, oh, have fun and then figure that out later. But then it's after the having fun, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, like you need to face the reality.
Face the reality.
Yeah, I feel that because I graduated in December. It's a weird time to graduate.
Ooh.
But then everyone's like, I'm going home, holiday time. And for me, it's like, I'm starting my OPT on December 19th, just in case somebody want to hire me and I can get paid legally. And everyone else is like, oh, we're going to fly to certain country with my families. And I'm like, damn, I hope one day all the foreigners can have the same relaxed time when it's their holiday.
Exactly. I agree. And I feel that way with Thanksgiving. So back in undergrad, everyone goes home to spend time with their family, where it's like, oh, I'm here either alone or I'm spending it with my international student friends. But it's not the same, because it's like everyone else is with their families or I'm not. And it's like, I wish I had that. So yes, you're right about the holiday. It seems different.
It's like you see, oh, right, I'm not from here.
I know.
Yeah, I don't really do Christmas that much back home in Taiwan, but because here everyone's like, oh, getting Christmas trees, put on the lights and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's very festive. I'm not doing that though. It's like different. But on the other note, do you have like the happiest day you had in America, or like some days that you feel like I am having a really good time here?
Oh, it's the friends. It's the people I meet.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I've developed amazing friendships that will last a lifetime.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, these people that I met, there's just so many of them. I feel like I wouldn't be able to meet such diverse people if I were back home. Like definitely. You meet someone from, XYZ, and then you get to learn about their culture. The people I meet here really enriched my life. And then it's also getting the O1, I think, was such an accomplishment, because it's like...
Did you get it through a mail?
Yeah. It felt like, oh my gosh, all of my hard work, was put into this. Technically, it's like, it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything. But still, like,
it
being
means
recognized.
something.
Yeah, I accomplished something.
Yeah, definitely. It's like the time when I see the degree from graduate school, like the master degree, I look at the paper. I'm like, damn, I really spent 3 years and finished the study. I'm a master. Because sometimes you are so stressed out about O1. You're like, I'm not outstanding. I'm not good enough for America to let me stay.
I know, yeah.
But either you choose to stay or not, you accomplish a lot. Living by yourself in a foreign country, finish your degree, surviving in such a weird time.
Right.
Definitely much better when you spend it with your friends.
Yeah, and celebrate it together. And then, I gained so much support here. So many mentors from school and from the industry. I met a lot of people who really inspire me. And I feel like I'm always pushing myself to be better person, and then be, just an overall good person.
The next question is, have you ever imagined your life now if you didn't come here? What will you be doing? And do you think that's actually an easier life?
I've had those thoughts from time to time, not gonna lie. But I learned that it's not healthy to keep regretting or analyze the decisions that I've made. It's kind of like being in a car and you're trying to head towards the next destination and you want to press on the gas to move forward, but you're also pressing the brakes at the same time, right?
Yeah.
You don't want that.
For your car.
Yeah, you cannot move.
You're wasting gas.
Exactly. Yeah. And the brakes represent me regretting all the decisions that I've made and regretting the things that I've done in the past, where it's like, no, I can't do that because it's not gonna allow me to move forward. So
it's holding you back.
Yeah, it's holding me back. And life is not about that, right? Life is about enjoying this entire process, whether it's good or bad. And I feel like grass is always gonna seem greener on the other side. If you're going through some specific challenge in your life, you're always going to wonder, oh, if I were to do XYZ, maybe that life would have been better. But you don't really know that,
Right?
I feel.
Yeah.
So with everything that I've experienced, I feel like I've became so much stronger as a person, and I've built a lot of skills and gained a lot of wisdom because of that. And I feel like I've learned how to be really patient and determined, and resiliency is a huge thing for me, and learning how to plan and achieve these goals. I feel like all of this is universal life skills that is so useful in life. I feel like if someone else is also going through something challenging, even if they're not moving from a different country, just anything, it's gonna be super helpful for them. So I feel like any time I see someone who's also an international student or trying to come to America, I have this eagerness to want to help them and make them feel like, hey, you're not alone, right? Like I can support you as much as I can, because I felt the same way, like people supported me too. And it's kind of that ripple effect.
Because you have that really kind thought in your mind, so you as a person, I feel like you have this like aura around you that I feel this person is friendly, I can talk to her. Because I remember how we met, it was online. I'm not using Facebook as much anymore compared to like college time.
Yeah.
But there was this professor that I was doing essay for, and then he mentioned a name. He's like, oh, she was my essay before you, and then you should reach out to her. She's an international student too. And then I usually don't do this, but I went on Facebook, I messaged you so randomly. It's like a very intuitive thing to do for me. I forgot what I say. Maybe like I would
don't
love
remember.
to be
Now
friends
that
or
you mentioned
something.
this, I now remember.
Yeah, I wasn't even like at home. I was hiking, and I'm like, let me Facebook message her.
I thought you were always online, and this was a natural thing for you to do.
No, I haven't opened Facebook like a long time. And then we became like
such good friends.
Yeah.
And because of that professor who introduced us, and see, that's what I feel like if I see an international student, there's this unspoken chemistry, like an instant connection we had. Like we had, I think, boba at your apartment, and then we just spoke for hours the entire day as if we knew each other.
I know.
Like we don't know each other, but
it's like sister.
yeah, it's like I think that's definitely a blessing in disguise of like we have different these like experiences, but we also have shared experiences that
like trauma bonding.
I know that. Yes, maybe that's it.
Yeah, especially during pandemic, there was a time the racism was really bad toward Asian individual. We need to stay strong together.
The unity.
Yeah, so I really appreciate you being my friend, sharing your experience with me as an editor. For me, it's super helpful to kind of navigating through my life here in America.
Of course.
Yes.
Happy to do that.
Thank you.
Yes.
And do you have any like advice that you would love to give our audience?
It's staying true to yourself. It's not comparing yourself with other people. I wish I had known that, because I personally feel like, oh, if that person is doing XYZ, how come I can't do that? And I always felt doubting myself of maybe I'm not good enough. But it's like, no. You're your own unique person. You have your own unique set of experiences in life. Don't compare yourself with others. So that is my main advice. Be happy with your own unique self. The good, the bad, it's all part of your journey, your story. And I would say be grateful for everything, even if it's bad, because it's all a learning experience. So appreciate the little things. Celebrate the small wins, because it's all going to be part of a bigger journey.
Yeah. That's good wisdom. Because I feel like, especially in bigger cities like New York or LA, there's this like hustle culture
Oh yeah,
that you feel guilty when you take a break.
Right.
If you need to take a break from your work, you feel like people are doing 2 projects, 3 projects together. I cannot stop.
Yep.
And then you kind of burn out.
Oh, absolutely.
So I have seen so many people at the beginning, they were such a like passionate person toward their own work.
Yeah.
But then because they compete with other people and they feel like I'm not good enough or I'm not working hard enough. Yeah. It's not like work hard, play harder. I would love to do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
But it's more like work-life balance.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like people forget that when they're surrounded by peers who are working hard and doing all that constantly, you can lose yourself along the way.
Definitely.
And it's like knowing that you have to take a break sometimes and that it's okay. Because, everyone's like timeline is different.
I know. It's like sometimes I look at certain people, I'm like, fuck, they're 25 or they're 24, but they're doing some big things that I haven't done yet.
Right,
Why am I not doing that? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, but everyone has their own timeline,
Absolutely.
like you said. So just don't be lazy, but don't overwork.
Exactly.
yourself.
Know yourself. Because no one else will know you better
Right?
than yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I have heard this. I forgot from which friend, but they said, taking care of yourself as if you are taking care of a really good friend.
Oh, I love
Like
that.
imagine your bestie give their body to you for a year for you to use.
I love that.
Will you eat good stuff and exercise? You
Ooh.
will. You will try your best to stay healthy because you want to take care of your bestie.
Best friend,
Yeah, so do that to yourself.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like we always forget to take care of ourselves. We're always trying to take care of others.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
our Asian blood.
the Asian in this.
Yeah, Asian female blood.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're evolving.
Exactly. We learn and then hopefully we become better and stronger.
Yes. Thank you so much coming here, having this recording session with us. Thank you for listening or watching another episode of Zero Generation, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye.